In football, some players don't need to touch the ball to change the mood of a stadium. One walks on and the air turns electric. Another steps in and the boos start before kickoff. That's because in this game, greatness isn't just about goals or trophies. It's about energy. It's about how a player makes the world feel. Today, we're breaking down the most hated and the most loved players in football, not based on who's better, but on who captured the public's fury and who earned the world's love. Let's start where the controversies begin. Hated. Sergio Ramos, the embodiment of win at all costs. Ramos didn't just toe the line between aggression and recklessness, he crushed it. The 2018 Champions League final will forever haunt Mohamed Salah fans. Ramos's armlock takedown that ended Salah's night and Egypt's World Cup hopes sparked global outrage. Over 250 yellow cards and 28 reds in his career only cement his status as one of the game's dirtiest legends. But beyond stats, it's his unapologetic smirk and win-first attitude that made him public enemy number one for many. Loved. Ronaldinho, smiling while humiliating defenders. Ronaldinho was loved not just for his skills, but for how he made football feel magical again. He'd lob goalkeepers with no angle, nutmeg two players with one touch, and do it all with joy on his face. Even rival fans applauded him. His 2005 performance at the Bernabeu, standing ovation from Real Madrid fans. That kind of love doesn't happen twice. He was the street footballer who never stopped playing for fun, even on the world's biggest stages. Hated. Diego Costa. He wasn't just a striker, he was chaos incarnate. Costa made defenders' lives miserable with elbows, dives, trash talk, and random acts of violence. In one match against Arsenal, he slapped, pushed, and provoked Gabriel Paulista into a red card, and somehow got away with it. Fans hated him, but only because he didn't care. That smug grin after every scrap? That's what drove people mad. He wasn't there to be liked, he was there to disrupt, and he was brilliant at it. Loved. Luka Modric. The quiet genius. Modric doesn't roar, he whispers and controls games like a conductor. From leading Croatia to a World Cup final in 2018 to winning 5 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid, Modric has earned every ounce of global respect. No scandals, no arrogance, just relentless consistency and elegance on the pitch. When he lifted the Ballon d'Or in 2018, he broke the Messi-Ronaldo monopoly, and few complained. That's how universally admired he is. Hated. Pepe. If you've seen Pepe tackle, you know why he's here. The Portuguese defender is infamous for his violent outbursts, like the time he kicked Getafe's Javi Casquero multiple times while he was already on the ground. Red cards followed him everywhere. He'd clash, stamp, elbow, then plead innocence with wide eyes. A walking contradiction. Brutal and bizarre. Even in Portugal, fans were divided. Outside, Pepe was the guy everyone loved to hate. Loved Kaka. Pure class, on and off the field. Kaka never needed tricks or arrogance to dazzle. His run from midfield to destroy Manchester United's defense in 2007. Iconic. But beyond football, he was humble, deeply religious, and always respectful. In a sport full of ego, Kaka was grace personified. He won the Ballon d'Or in 2007 and made it look easy and clean. Fans across clubs, even rivals, respected his quiet excellence. Hated. Marco Materazzi. One word, Zidane. Materazzi provoked one of the most legendary red cards in history during the 2006 World Cup final. But that was no accident. Materazzi's career was built on psychological warfare. Trash talk, shirt pulls, cheap shots. He knew how to get into opponents' heads. He was the villain that thrived in chaos. Italy won that final. But Materazzi walked off with a legacy as football's top antagonist. Loved. David Beckham. From being the villain in 1998 to national hero in 2002, Beckham's redemption arc made him beloved worldwide. He scored from halfway lines, bent free kicks like no one else, and became a global icon without losing his work ethic. Even in hostile environments, Beckham kept performing, proving his critics wrong with every curling shot. His discipline, image, and iconic number 7 shirt turned him into more than a footballer. He became a symbol of elegance and grit. Hated. Joey Barton. A walking headline for all the wrong reasons. Barton's off-pitch controversies were as famous as his red cards. He punched teammates, sparked locker room brawls, and once served jail time. On the field, he was reckless and unapologetic. Fans couldn't separate the player from the chaos, and Barton didn't want them to. He played like a man possessed, sometimes brilliant, mostly brutal. Loved. Francesco Totti, the one-club king. Totti stayed at Roma his entire career despite offers from giants like Real Madrid. That loyalty alone made him a legend. But he wasn't just a mascot. Totti had golden technique, cheeky chips, and a football brain that rivaled anyone. He was the beating heart of Roma, and in return, he was worshipped like royalty. Even when Italy won the World Cup in 2006, Totti remained humble and rooted in his hated Luis Suarez, a generational talent with a villain's resume. Suarez bit 3 different opponents, racially abused Patrice Evra, and dove with reckless abandon. For every moment of brilliance, there was a scandal. Who can forget the 2010 World Cup handball against Ghana? He stopped a goal with his hand and celebrated the miss like he scored. Fans detested him, and yet he kept scoring. A genius wrapped in controversy. Loved. Andres Iniesta. Modest, magical, and deeply respected. Iniesta's World Cup winning goal for Spain in 2010 made him a national hero. But his magic lay in the simple things. Perfectly weighted passes, unmatched composure, and an ability to read the game like no one else. He was never flashy, but always decisive. Loved in Spain. Respected in every corner of football. You never heard boos when Iniesta played. Just admiration. Hated. Emiliano Martinez. The newest villain on the list. Martinez's penalty shootout antics in the 2022 World Cup trash talk, mind games, even obscene gestures made him infamous overnight. He's cocky, theatrical, and doesn't care who's watching. Critics call him disrespectful. His fans call it psychological warfare. But there's no denying he's built a persona that splits opinion like few others. When he dances after a save, half the world groans, the other half cheers. Loved N'Golo Kante, the ultimate anti-diva. Kante runs, wins, smiles, and repeats. He doesn't dive, argue, or showboat. He just dominates midfields and thanks his teammates. Fans love him not just for his skills, but for his humility. He drove a Mini Cooper long after becoming a millionaire, helped Leicester win the unthinkable Premier League title, and was pivotal in Chelsea's Champions League triumph. Every coach wants him. Every fan loves him. There's no hate for Kante, only endless respect. Football needs its saints and its sinners. The loved ones remind us why we fell in love with the game. The hated ones, they give us villains to remember the drama, the controversy, the chaos. Whether you cheer or boo, these 14 names made sure you'd never forget them. And isn't that what football's really about?